it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new video. So, last month I made a video talking about my favorite QPOC sapphic books. So today I'll be talking about my favorite QPOC Achillean books. For those who don't know, Achillean is an umbrella term for men-loving men, and it includes non-binary people. So, the first book on this list is called Yesterday's History. This book is a YA contemporary with like a science fiction twist because it includes an element of time traveling because it follows a young black gay boy who's stuck between two boys, one in the past and one in the present. This book is absolutely so fantastic, and it's so well done, and it's so underrated. Honestly, like the plot is absolutely so engaging and it's so intriguing. The characters are so well developed and they're so distinct. Like the Achillean romance is so fluffy and it's absolutely so cute and it's so well developed, and I really enjoyed it. This book is so good because it's so happy and it's absolutely so fluffy, and we love to see it. I love seeing like queer stories, marginalized stories in general that focus on like the happier side of it. You know what I mean? Like I definitely prefer fluffy marginalized stories than like more hard-hitting marginalized stories, even though I understand that like both are necessary and timely and important. But anyway, with all of that said, this book is absolutely so good and it's so well done and it's so well developed. So with all of that said, I would definitely highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called Things We Couldn't Say. This book is a YA contemporary following a young black bisexual boy who's navigating two things: first love and the return of his mom, who walked out on his family when he was 9 years old. This book is so good, and again, it's so underrated, and it deserves so much more hype. First of all, the authenticity of like the black and queer experience really came through, and the characters were so well developed and they were so distinct and they felt so authentic, if that really makes any sense. The romance was so well developed and it was absolutely so good. This book really walks the line between being fluffy and happy and like so wholesome and also being angsty as well, and we love to see it. The plot was so engaging and it was absolutely so intriguing. This book is so awesome with all of the different elements, and we love to see it. Anyway, with all of that said, I would definitely highly recommend this book because, like I mentioned, this story is so underrated and it deserves so much more hype. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Insiders. This book is a middle-grade contemporary following a young Latinx gay boy who finds a magical closet within his school that leads to magic, adventure, and friendship. This book is so good, and it's absolutely so well done because it's so fluffy and it's so happy, and in that sense, I think that it's so necessary and so timely for young queer people. You know what I mean? Like that's why I think that happy queer stories are timely and important for young people who are figuring out their sexuality, or older people who are figuring out their sexuality, because again, you're never too young or too old to figure out your sexuality or your gender identity. But anyway, this book is so well done and it's so awesome, and I really enjoyed it. First of all, the main character is such a wonderful, lovely, distinct main character, and his friendships with the other two characters are so like lovely and well developed because they are such lovely, well developed characters too. And the plot is like so engaging and it's so intriguing, and the world building and the magical closet like system is like so cool and it's so creative and inventive. Like literally this book is so good and it deserves so much more hype because it's absolutely so underrated and it's so well developed, and I will gladly continue to read more middle grade by this author if they continue to write middle grade, because if I understand correctly, their previous books were YA and this was their middle grade debut. But anyway, with all that said, I would definitely highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called Meet Cute Diary. This book is a YA contemporary following a young, triracial, transgender boy whose idea of a false relationship shadows his first one, and this book includes fake dating. This book is absolutely so good, and it's so well done because it's so wholesome and it's so happy, and it's absolutely so fluffy. And this book absolutely amplifies my expectations for the author's next book, which I believe comes out in early May, and it's on my May TBR. But anyway, this book is so good because, first of all, the characters are so well developed and so distinct. Second of all, the plot is so engaging and it's absolutely so intriguing. Third of all, the fake dating and the Achillean romance are so cute and so fluffy. The representation in this story is so top-notch, and it's so good. This author is literally so talented, and their writing is so wonderful, and it's literally so good. This book is so wonderful, and it's so lovely, and it's so tremendous. So anyway, with all of that said, I would definitely highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called Ace of Shades. This book is a YA fantasy following a young girl who's straight out of finishing school. So she's a fish out of water as she enters the city of Sin, which is a fantastical city inspired by Las Vegas because she's looking for her missing mom, and her only lead is the other main character, who's black and bisexual. This book is absolutely so fantastic, and it's so well done, and it's so underrated. This book and this trilogy really solidified Amanda Foody as one of my favorite authors because her writing is so amazing. Her world building is so creative, and it's so inventive, and it's absolutely so engaging. The plot of the story is so engaging and so intriguing. Like, the characters are so well developed and so distinct. The romance is so cute, and it's also so angsty, and it's so good. This book is absolutely so awesome, and it's so underrated, and it's so good. Like, the story is so wonderful. This trilogy is so underrated, and it deserves so much more hype. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called Cemetery Boys. For those who don't know, this book is a YA urban fantasy following a young transgender boy who's determined to prove his true gender to his traditional Latinx family, and in doing so, he accidentally summons a ghost. This book is so fantastic, and it's so wonderful, and it's absolutely so lovely. Like, literally, Aiden is such a talented author because his writing is so good. The world building in this story is so engaging, and it's absolutely so wonderful. The representation in this story is so good, and it's absolutely so fantastic. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. The Achillean romance is so cute, and it's so fluffy, and it's absolutely so happy. This book deserves all its hype and so much more, and it definitely amplifies my expectations for Aiden Thomas's next book, which I believe is called The Sunbearer Trials, and it comes out in September, and it's marketed as Percy Jackson meets the Hunger Games, which sounds so exciting and so cool. So anyway, with all of that said, this book is so fantastic, and it deserves all of its hype and so much more. So with that, I would highly recommend it. In conclusion, and I know I say this every single time, but I hope this video helps diversify your bookshelf. If you enjoyed it, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the fox emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!